Hey y'all, it's Peggy Marchetti here at Madison Creek Farms, and it is football season, and with that, it is also pepper season here on the farm, at the peak of the pepper season. So you are going to find tons of peppers in your farm box, at your local farmer's market, and on your local farm stand. So in honor of that, I decided to do a little recipe that honors both football parties, football season, and peppers. So today I want to show you how to make this great little dip for your football parties. I call it my Smashville Loaded Stuffed Pepper Bake, and it is delicious. Now if you're on a diet, don't worry about that. Y'all can do that another day. Football season doesn't last that long. Come on now. Let's get started. Football season has on us, and it is, like I said, the peak of the pepper season. So I want to do this really nice kind of cheesy, warm dip here. And I want to use our peppers because God knows we have a ton of them right now. So the first thing I want to do is heat up this pan. I'm going to pour a little bit of olive oil. The nice thing about this recipe, it is a one pan deal. We will have to bake it off, but it is a one pan deal. So that's great for me. Into this, I'm going to add, because it's a stuffed pepper dip, a little bit of ground meat into my skillet. Let me wash my hands off here. All right. Just a little bit of ground meat. I'm going to say probably about, I've got maybe a little more than a half a pound here going into the pan. And I just want to get it nice and brown. And while that is browning up, let's go ahead and move this guy out of the way a little bit. We're going to start working on our peppers and our onion. So I want to go ahead and give a dice to my onion. Just a dice. And because this is a dip, I want to keep my ingredients kind of chopped pretty fine, because we don't want any one thing to kind of be the thing. So I'm just going to give them a good chop, really fine chop. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and toss these in with the ground meat. Now you can use ground turkey if you want to. In this, you don't have to put meat in it if you don't want to at all. But I've got a house full of guys that like the meat, a little bit of meat. So, and all I'm doing is browning that off. Now I'm going to work on my peppers. So, I have a little bit of a mixture of peppers here. I just went out and got whatever it is I could find really quick. So, which is nice with some colors. So I'm taking my bell pepper, and all I'm doing is running my knife all the way around it. But I'm avoiding the seeds. That gives me so much less cleanup when you cut your peppers like this. Take all of that, any kind of pepper trash, and then these white veins in it, just go ahead and take those right out of here. And I'm going to give those a little dice. Go ahead and dice that up. Now I'm using a lot of peppers in this recipe because the peppers are my star for this recipe. And I'm using a lot of sweet peppers, but I'm going to mix in some heat as well with some green chilies. Just a little dice. It's fall, but you wouldn't know it out here on the farm, because here in Tennessee, today in September is the hottest day we've had all year. And it's so dry as well. It's just no rain, and in the 90s. It's not very fun to be a farmer, especially when you're trying to plant for your fall crops in this kind of weather. It's hot and sticky. That's gorgeous. All I'm going to do to this is add just a little bit of salt, a little bit of coarse pepper, and then I have some hamburger seasoning. Put that right in there just like that. Perfect. This is ready to be drained off. So I'm going to take my colander. Hamburger has a lot of fat. You want to get that out of there. You don't need all that. So I'm just going to take it and drain it off. Alright, I'm going to turn my eye off for a second here. You're just going to set this aside for just a little bit. So set it aside and go ahead and cover it up while I work on these peppers. So these peppers I want to dice. I don't have a big area here to work to dice up this many peppers. So I'm just going to run my knife right through them. Claw fingers back, good sharp knife, and just doing these little dices. When you're dicing peppers like this, you need to make sure you get those fingers back because these little things can roll on you. This is where you can get cut, so you want to be really careful. So just giving them a dice. I'm going to go ahead and throw those in. Just like that. Beautiful. I'm going to hit a red pepper. So I'm using, for this recipe, my little cast iron skillet. Southern thing. We love the cast iron. And one of the things that I really do like about a cast iron skillet is how it holds temperature. I mean, this is our go-to pan, but it holds temperature, and it's so versatile because it can go from the stove top to the oven, just on a grill. It's just one of those kind of pans that really hold up to a lot of different cooking techniques. And it's seasoned, so it also has its own little thing going on with it as well. Just a few more of these red peppers. You just go ahead and get it. Just a good old dice on them. Beautiful. And really, when you dig your bread or your cracker or your chip, whatever you're serving this with, the main thing is that you want to get a pepper. You want to get those peppers and those cheese and I mean everything in a bite. You don't want to be scooting around for a pepper, so you really want to add a lot. Like I said, this is a really good way, just a little more olive oil, really good way to use up some of these beautiful peppers. Gorgeous. That is going to do it. That's all I need in the peppers. Go ahead and take these out of the way. Now when you make stuffed peppers, because we're not going to have any rice or anything like that goes into this dip. So this is just going to be a lot of peppers and tomatoes and spices, cheese. It's going to be delicious. So I'm going to let those cook now. Is when I'm going to add some garlic. Okay, quite a lot of garlic. We do like the garlic. Just add that, and I always add my garlic in later into the recipe so it can cook off. Doesn't burn. Doesn't like it to burn. So it just kind of cooks off here. Beautiful. I'm going to put in some red pepper flakes. Right in there. And you're just going to cook these for just a minute. I just want to get them nice and tender. So, and then I'll add back in our hamburger meat. And that's going to really mix that together. And we're almost done. We're almost to the point to where we're going to start adding the cheese. We're going to bake it off. This is such a beautiful little dip, and it's so filling, and you can use it with bread. You can use it with chips if you want to. It's just one of those really fun, flavorful, warm appetizers that they will keep coming back for this. It looks beautiful, it tastes amazing, And so you're gonna really enjoy this, and so is anybody that is at your party. They're gonna love this little recipe. So I'm gonna add in our hamburger. Just like that. Now I'm gonna add in some spices to this. I'm gonna add in some onion powder, some garlic powder, smoked paprika. That's gonna give it that nice smoky flavor. And then I'm gonna also add in some olives right in, a little more salt, a little pepper. I'm gonna move this around in the pan. I'm gonna let this cook for another minute while I get ready to start making the cheese. So, you guys stay with me. I'm gonna be right back, and we're gonna finish this off and get this ready for the oven. So, come on back. I'm going to start working on the cheese. So, I have here a block of cream cheese. You can use yogurt if you want to, but you know, this is a party dish. We're celebrating, so I'm going full out. So I'm going full cream cheese. So just a half of room temperature or hotter, because we're outside, of cream cheese to this. I'm gonna go ahead, black olives right in the pan. To this, I'm going to add to my cream cheese, I'm going to add some mozzarella. This is gonna give it that stringy texture coming out. And this is Kobe Jack. Right in. Mix that up into my cream cheese. I'm going to also add a little bit of sour cream. That's just going to make it kind of a little nice and creamy. Just a dollop or two. Right in. And you just want to kind of stir this together a little bit. That's looking good. So that's my cheese. That's going to be my cheese filling. Now I'm going to add something to it here in a minute that's going to make it really special. But I want to get on to this. So to this I'm going to add, now you can use just any, but this is my roasted tomatoes that we make, my roasted tomatoes, and this has green chilies in it. Just right in. Beautiful. Now I want to spice this up a little bit. I want to kind of give it a little kick. So how I'm going to do that is a couple of ways. To that, I'm going to add, this is Worcester sour sauce and sriracha. Sriracha. Right in there. And you guys can probably hear that it's raining. This is the first rain that we have had in 2 weeks here on the farm, and I'm so happy to have it. But it has, I've tried to shoot this video today 3 times, and it's rained on me. So yeah, 3 times. So what I'm doing is I'm just letting this sizzle together. Now to that I want to add some pepper flakes, just to give it a little more heat. And then I'm going to add some smoked paprika, just to give it a little bit of smoky flavor. Now, to my pepper mixture. This is my jalapeno, my pepper jam, and I'm going to add that to my cheese mixture. So you can use any pepper jam. You don't have to use mine. I'd prefer to use mine, but you don't have to use mine. And what that's going to do is that's going to give it this sweet taste, with those peppers, and this has, you know, the pepper jam has vinegar in it, so it's this sweet taste, and it also has jalapenos. So I've got the green chilies going, I have some jalapenos going, so this is going to have some kick to it. Now, to this, I'm going to go in with some Spike. Remember I told you about the Spike? Spike is this seasoning that I love, and I'll leave a link below where you can get Spike. But I use it on all of my tomato pastas, things like that. It's just a great herb, a mixture of spice. I mean, a great spice that has a lot of different complex flavors in it, and it's delicious. So just a little bit of that going on. Now that I've got this simmering down, it's getting ready. We're going to get ready to pop it into the oven. I just want to cook off just a little bit of this, the sauce, the water from those tomatoes. Cook those down just a little bit. I love sriracha, and that sriracha and the Worcester sour sauce are really good together in dishes like this. So if you do it, like right now, you could make, you know, stuffed peppers with this, add a little rice, but that sriracha and that Worcester sour sauce is a great combination to season up these kind of things. I am going to add a little more salt. A little pepper. Just like that. Perfect. Now that I have this kind of cooking where I want it to be, so it looks like this. I'm going to bring it over so you can see it just a little bit better. So you've got this going on. Uh-oh. I'm going to catch the whole place on fire. Don't want to do that. Hello. So you have that going on. So you've got this nice bubbly mixture. Now is when we're going to start adding in the cheese. What this is going to do, this is what's going to keep everybody interested, because this cheesy mixture with that cheese, with the hot pepper jam mixed in here, so you've got this sweet thing going on. You've got that Kobe Jack cheese. You've got that beautiful silkiness of the cream cheese, and then you have this melted cheese. So you've got this all going on. So I'm just kind of mixing it in. I'm going to go ahead and turn my off, and I'm just kind of stirring it just a little bit, just because I want it all to get all around the pan. Just like that. Then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to go over my top with some mozzarella. It's gorgeous. So this mozzarella, I'm going to add in just a little bit of fresh parsley. You can do this at the end, because we're only going to pop this into the oven, 350 degrees, for about 10-15 minutes, only to melt down all the cheese and get it nice and silky and melted down. Like that. Terrific. So this is going into the oven, 350 degrees for about 10-12 minutes, just to where it's nice and melted down and bubbly. And then I'm going to bring it back up here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like, and it is so delicious. So you're going to want to give this a try. So let's go pop this into the oven. Why not? All right, here you go. All right, so here we go. We have finished off the Smashville Loaded Stuffed Pepper dip. This is really super easy and really delicious. So we have only left to garnish. So I'm just going to garnish it with just a little bit of fresh parsley, just right on top. And you could, if you wanted to, add some basil, which would go great with the tomato and those chilies. But just right on top. Let's just make it pretty. So this is such a delicious way to use up those peak of the season peppers. And oh, I know my hair's like fuzzy. It's been raining out here. The peak of the season peppers and all of these really beautiful, beautiful onions, and there's that ground beef and all of this. This is really a winner. So look at just how beautiful though. It's just a beautiful dish. So let's give it a shot. Go ahead and give it a try. So and it's one of those really thick dips. I'm just gonna put a little piece on some fresh bread, cheesy. Listen, it's football, baby. You're supposed to be pretty eating. It's delicious. Those peppers. Nothing sweeter than a fresh pepper. It's got a little kick to it because of those chilies and that sriracha. Well, that's it for me. All I can tell you, if you are not from Nashville, Tennessee, the Titans are coming to kick your butt. And I hope that as consolation, you will try my Smashville loaded stuffed peppers, because they are the bomb. So I'm off. My husband has the TV on and it's football, baby. Bye, y'all.